I think there's there's a couple of massive innovations that are tied to Ep-4. I'm gonna hold the phone, up for a minute. One of these big innovations, and tie this back to the entrepreneurial spirit of this team Ep-4. We had members on the team that helped change Army policy to facilitate the use of a personal mobile device to get entree into a soldier's profile, and they'll use a long, strong password to get in to their profile. We've worked the PII issue out, so there's no real security issues. Did a lot of testing to make sure it was, legitimate and safe. And the Guard is using it today. But I mean, that was a handful of folks on my team that worked that policy with the G6 and Cyber Command and others to make it happen. I mean, it was just really exciting to watch. A major lieutenant colonel and a couple of NCOs, work through that and get a capability to the Guard that nobody has seen in the Army before. Just absolutely exciting to watch that. The other is that so you're in this system, and you have access in general. Commanders have access, soldiers have access, HR professionals have access. So when an element of a unit gets up and deploys, so like if you're in the state of Pennsylvania and they deploy a battalion or a company to Poland or Kuwait, that battalion or company can connect back to the state in the system, from where they're at. So you couldn't do that before. So if you were in the National Guard and you were using SIDPERS, that didn't exist. You had to call your unit back in Pennsylvania. So we're rolling out a capability that allows you to interact from a mobile device. If you wanted heightened, elevated user privileges, as long as you have a CAC reader and you're using your CAC card, you can have that off of a mobile device as well. But if you're in the system together and you're interacting in the system together, we're essentially pushing capability to the tactical edge, even in these deployed environments. Again, it's a big boost. It's a big innovation that we haven't been able to do in an HR system before. So we're just really excited about that, and really that ties back to these innovative, aggressive officers, NCOs, and warrants that are on Team Ep-4 working that. So they're really here doing it for the Army, but they're doing it for the HR Corps, and it just highlights why this is a very different program than, say, our predecessor program that failed. Colonel Johnson's, favorite science fiction book. I've asked we've made this like an LPD reading book for the team, and for me, it's mostly, hey, read it because of the human dynamics that are involved. We're trying to change the Army HR system. But it's also trying to change how HR is done in the entire Army. So you want to know a human dynamics situation or problem. I mean, we kind of face it. So I've asked folks to read this book, even though, science fiction may not be your thing. There's many themes going on in this book. Pretty soon you can watch the movie, or at least the first iteration of the movie. But, small band of folks going after something, changing a bunch of stuff, and then all that interaction, the human dynamics stuff. I mean, it's a pretty interesting book, and in a lot of cases, hey, we're writing our own kind of journey, getting Ep-4 out, trying to change the Army, with a lot of folks that don't necessarily want to change, but we are changing, we are modernizing, we are being driven by the Army leaders to get this thing out.